YTBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. And guys, I'm just doing a follow-up video. I'm doing an add-on to 68 Triumphant's video. He made a video about a black internet YouTuber named David Carroll. And some of you, you know who he is. You've seen some videos. I mean, and you do a video, and every now and then, even on in the YTBC, a David Carroll video somehow just seems to pop up on the news feed, and you see it, and it hits you by surprise when you first watch it. Because I watched the video when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this guy got a psychological problem, or I thought he was just kind of playing around. But then when I really thought that, man, this is what this man believes, I kind of started thinking maybe, he's like got some kind of psychological thing going on with him. That's what I first thought. But then, when really analyzing just who he is, just like 68 did, he 68 analyzed this man. He analyzed him and just like, dang. Like, why do people get so upset? And I kind of saw exactly when I first saw one of his first videos. I said he doing this for the camera. But what it is, David Carroll he has researched the African American race, and he's got it down to a science. And when I say down to a science, he knows exactly what's going to make a black person emotional, and then he knows exactly how you're going to respond. And he has a rebuttal for everything you say. He's got a rebuttal. You know why? Because he's researched African Americans. He's researched black folks for so long. He's researched us as a race for so long that he even knows how you're going to respond. And every response that you say to him, he's already got a rebuttal. See, he's been doing this for 20 years. He's been offending black people for 20 years. And he gets a kick out of it. He most certainly does. He get a kick out of it. But the thing of it is, though, he only does it for the camera. Because if you ever look at some of his man on the street videos, and I'd always wonder, I wonder if he's like this in public. Like, I wonder if he's like this in public when he around other black people. Do he call them shines, or do we call them, what's that other word he called them? Shines, jacklegs, and all this other stuff. I wonder if he would go up to the typical black person in public, and would he just address him as a shine and this and that? And you know what? The answer to that is no. Because he had a few videos where he was just kind of walking up to people on the street asking a question. And, he was talking to them respectfully, very respectful. But I kind of noticed, I said, David Carroll only does that for the camera. And he does it because he knows that he can get a rise. But he knows by far the most emotional race on planet Earth is black people. David Carroll figured that out. You have some emotional people of different other races, but David Carroll figured out that blacks, we get real emotional as a race. And so he know how to push the buttons. But see, once he pushed the buttons, what we tend to do, a lot of people, because you have to listen to this guy on blog radio. You got to listen to him debate people. And you'll see what I mean. You see, David Carroll is not an emotional person. He don't have any emotions. He could care less. He could care less about your feelings. He could care. The only thing he gets emotional about is when the only thing anything gets him going is that he laughs when he knows that he's emotionally upset a black person, preferably black men. So he gets a kick out of that. But what black men we do, you make a mistake, you go right into him. You'll type this long essay about, why you disagree with what he say, and you make all these little crazy comments to him. And you know what he does? With emotion, he debunks or disputes you with facts. That's all he does. He don't get into his emotions. He don't get into them at all. The first thing he do is he hits you with facts. He's hitting these people on these blog shows with facts. He's killing them. And these guys on these blog shows are getting ate alive. It can be 3 and 4 people. Like, it's this one guy where he disguised his voice. And that's why I started thinking, man, this guy got a psychological problem. But he disguised his voice, and it was him. But there were 2 hosts going in on him. David Carroll made both of these guys look silly in a matter of 10 minutes because he kept hitting these guys with facts. These guys were emotional, and David Carroll takes advantage of an emotional person. He takes advantage of that. And so when he takes advantage, he's got you on the ropes. He's got you beat. There's nothing you can do. Because, see, he's researched. He's a walking encyclopedia. He's a walking encyclopedia of books. This man is an avid reader. So, see, when you come at him with anything that you think is of substance, your best goal, you can't really you can't really come at him because he's going to hit you with a fact. And he knows that the average black man is going to become extremely emotional. And see, once you're emotional and once he knows that you're emotional, it's the end of the road. Because then he's going to keep hitting you with fact, and you're going to get more frustrated and more frustrated and more frustrated. And then you're not going to even want to debate because he's already won the intellectual battle. That's where people make the mistake. See, when you go and you talk to a person or you try to debate a guy like David Carroll, you have to have you have to have some things in line. You have to have research what you're going to debate him about. You have to research it because see, if you don't, he's going to make you look completely foolish, and that's why a lot of people he's tearing them up left and right. Now, with that being said, I kind of saw something though, and I saw something that wasn't typical him. I saw something completely out of character for him. He lost his cool. He lost his cool. And you know what? He's normally usually a calm and cool, collective person. Pretty calm and cool when he's debating. He lost his he lost his cool with this woman named Crystalline Carson. And I heard 68 Triumphant talk about her, and I Googled her, and she has a platform where and I guess her platform is black women having interracial relationships to be happy. That's her platform. And you know what though? David Carroll couldn't really he couldn't really put a dent in her armor. What he had to do ultimately, he had to overtalk her because see, I think he knew in his mind that if he started to debate this woman, like really debate, she got her facts. See, whether you disagree with the platform that she's on or not, she's got a lot of knowledge about what she's talking about. So see, she was going to hit him with facts. And see, a guy like David Carroll, when you speak facts, he can't really debate you that well. So he had to go to plan B. He had to overtalk her, and that's what he did. He overtalked her, man, and it was crazy. Homegirl just said, "Hey, I'm out. I ain't finna talk." She got off the phone and she just let him go on and do what he gonna do. But it wasn't really an open debate. She never really got a chance to say much of anything because he started overtalking her. And I said, you know what? That's the mistake that black people make with David Carroll. Y'all try to talk to this man with an emotion. You can't talk to him with an emotion. You got to talk to him with the fact. This man don't deal with emotions. He never makes a decision based off emotions. He'll base it off of fact. Like he was saying in one video, and I've watched a few. I watched about maybe 4 or 5. No, I watched about 6 of his videos to really, because I couldn't believe that this man actually thought the way he thought. I couldn't believe it. I was like, dang. But he was talking about how, he went to the doctor. He said he went to the doctor, and a lot of his friends were telling him, you need to stop, smoking these cigars. You need to stop. And he didn't, really take him up on. He didn't take him up on it. He still was smoking his cigars because, friends, they care about you. Well, of course, David Carroll didn't respond to that. He didn't respond to that, but he went to the doctor. Now, the doctor gave him factual information saying that, you're at the age now you need to stop smoking so many cigars. And so the doctor gave him facts, and he responded to that. Now, he doesn't really smoke as many of these cigars, so he says. But people, that's what I really want to say about this individual in a nutshell. Like, I don't want to bash him because, I don't agree with 98% of what he says. I just don't agree. One thing I do agree with, I agree with what he says about churches in the community. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I agree because I've even seen churches where the pastors, they're messing around with the members. I've seen that. I mean, so I can't, that's probably the only thing that I agree with him on. The other stuff, nah, I disagree. I don't agree with his platform. But why y'all get so mad? The reason why y'all get so mad is that you can't really disprove what he's telling you because you don't have the facts to disprove. See, I don't believe what he's saying, okay? And I'm not going to debate him. Not because I don't have the knowledge or what. I just don't really feel like debating somebody like that. It's a waste of time to really try to debate somebody like that. But for those of y'all that don't like what he says and you want to debate him, get whatever he's talking about. Go beef yourself up on what he's talking about. Go understand every aspect of what he's talking about before you try to debate him, and you'll be successful. And he'll go to another plan B. He'll talk you, or he'll do whatever he got to do. But it'll be harder for him to make you look foolish. So people, why y'all get upset with this guy? I mean, he doing it. He's doing it, guys. He's a YouTube personality. That's what he does. This is not his real life. When that camera go off, I can tell you, David Carroll not running around the streets of wherever he's from, calling people shines and Negroes, and I can't see him doing that. And you know, probably even on one of his videos when he was walking along the street talking to people, he wasn't calling them shines or Negroes or coons or jacklegs or nothing. He wasn't calling them that mess. He was being very respectful to these people. And sometimes you guys, y'all got to stop being so emotional, man. Got to stop being so freaking emotional and look at this for what it is. If those are his views, those are his views. You ain't got to agree with it, but don't try to combat the man with your emotions because you'll lose. This is your boy, Coach Shelton Harrison. I'm done.